one. So she's the eldest daughter of Italian-speaking immigrants. In fact, her mother had dual citizenship, was treated like a princess her whole life, wanted to spend every dime she had. Her father was raised in the streets. He didn't want to spend a dime. Put them in a marriage for 10 years and a couple kids, and what happens? Right? But because she grew up in this town, which was called Christie Park, it's kind of that nature stays with her. So, in our family, we call them Franisms, because that's her name, is Fran, right? For example, my brother, he wanted to do something, but he wasn't sure about how to ask my mom about it. Now, what she had meant to say was, I'm totally behind you as long as you do what you're supposed to. But what came out was, I'm totally behind you as long as you do what I tell you. Right? Now, there's another case when we say that she's as blunt as a brick to the back of the head. And I can prove it. When we say that she's blunt, she goes, I am not blunt! Right? Of course, one of the best ones we had came a couple Christmases ago. Now, my mother doesn't know why you would want to swim with dolphins, right? So he went up to her, baited her, and his line was, you want to go swim with dolphins? We can go swim with dolphins if that's what you want. And her not cluing into the fact that he's toying with her, she goes, I don't want to swim with dolphins. They don't want to swim with me. Like I'm a mammal with an air hole. Now there's another case where we're driving along, and of course, you know, she doesn't like Arby's because she doesn't believe it's real roast beef anymore. So my dad says, how about Arby's for lunch? And her response is, not a chance in hell. Right? Now, being in this family, you have to learn how to be tough. Like, for example, as I put it, one of her famous lines is, what the hell were you thinking? Right? Now, what we have is, for example, and a trip with us is never a dull moment. For example, our family has not missed a hurricane to save our lives. All right, we were living in Miami in '92 having my birthday when Hurricane Andrew roared through. We had a house in Galveston that got hit by a hurricane when we were in North Carolina. My mom was on a cruise when a hurricane was coming in. And I lost a job because of a hurricane. Right? Now, being on these trips, you never prepare for what we call Murphy's Law, right? Now, one of our trips, I was in a boarding school in San Bernardino, but we were at this cabin, right? And this cabin was such a piece of crap wiringly that every time you ran the microwave and the VCR, the circuit breaker would flip. Right? And that's just one of the many stories. But the one that I love the best is we call it the trip from hell. Because that's a case of Murphy's Law to the max. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We went to New Mexico for a 4th of July weekend, right? My brother's up in a summer camp in Maine called Kingsley Pines. And you know how you get emails and all that stuff? Well, they come and say, you have to get the mail. He gets this 5-long page fax written by my mom in email. While we're on this trip, we got caught in a thunderstorm. The power in our hotel got knocked out by the storm. Right? We went to drive in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico, got a flat tire. Mind you, the car we were driving at the time was a customized Suburban, so we couldn't get the cell phone signal, we couldn't get AAA. The hubcaps had Allen wrenches to get it off, which we conveniently left at home in Texas. Right? And there was a car, it was 102 degrees, my dad's losing his damn temper. I'm trying to stay away so he doesn't kill me. Right? Not only that, there's a car coming to me once every 2 hours. We finally do that. Then we end up actually getting to a car dealership. And the car gets declined because they think it's identity theft because somebody in Mexico is buying tires with our car. That's just one day in the life for me. You know, you try. That's why you gotta roll with the punches.
Amen. Good job, Mike.